Well, their whole life, we're taught men don't cry, suck it up, get over it. You're a boy, you can't do that. So then, as a man, you want me to be able to express my feelings when my whole childhood I couldn't. I don't know how to. I was never trained to do this. So now that I'm
Mhm.
an adult, I'm learning how to do this as a grown man compared to learning how to do it as a kid. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm on top. Oh, you better wipe them tears up. I'll give you something to cry about.
Right
Like,
about.
what? You know what I mean? So it was so many things done, especially to men, like that. It does hinder you when you become an adult and how you can communicate and how you can
Mhm.
express yourself. It took me a while to really learn how to express myself and put that out there. And I'm still not comfortable. Like there's nobody that does not share my DNA that's ever seen me cry. And they
Yeah.
probably never
Us
will
Adam.
because, right. I've never been, I was raised that wasn't okay. Men don't cry. So
Yeah.
now as a man, like I can't unlearn that. You know what I mean? Like that's not something that I could do.
Yeah. Nah, dog. I mean, have you seen me cry? I don't think so.
I don't think I've seen you cry. No, I don't think
Yeah.
I've seen you
You
cry.
just ain't caught me, man. You ain't caught me at the right spot, bro. I know my graduation, like college, bro. I was boo-hooing, dog, like a little like a little punk. I was boo-hooing, bro. I was boo-hooing, but it was a lot of emotions that was in there, man. So,
Bro,
but
actually, it was one day we was on the phone and I was about to cry and I hung up. And you probably didn't catch it. I was in college. We was on the phone. We was talking about something deep. And I was like, oh, brother, I think I felt somebody coming up. I got to call you back. And I got off the phone and I started boo-hoo crying in my car by myself. But I wasn't going to let you see that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, bruh, my brother just joined. I don't know the last time my brother seen me cry. He got my DNA. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's something about how we were raised.
mhm.
So, okay, I'm gonna pose this question to you as a, hopefully a future father. How will you raise your son as far as tears go? Is it acceptable? Is it not acceptable? When is it acceptable?
um, like everything's a place and time for everything. Um, I think during certain situations, I think you do have to be that because at the end of the day, I'm speaking, spiritually here. Men are, we're head of the household. We're the leaders. So, an amount of chaos, what do, during chaos? You look for the leaders. If you think about the United States, something goes on wrong, guess what we do? We look at the White House. We look at our politicians. We look at the leaders. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, even at work, something, a decision has to be made or something's going on at work, guess what you do? You got, you look at the boss, you look at supervisor, stuff like that. So for us men, we're the head of the household. We're the leaders, respectfully. And I think during the time of chaos, I don't think a man needs to cry or be weak, if you want to say, be vulnerable. I think once that chaos has passed, release those emotions and stuff like that. So my kid, if, as a son, young, of course, I'm gonna like, hey man, yeah, express it, man. If you're up, cry. It's okay to cry. If you're upset, all stuff. It's okay. But as he gets older, I'll try to explain to him more, like, hey man, look, I understand, you're going through a lot, son, but hey, you're the leader in this situation. You have to stay strong on this. After the situation is over, then release that and everything. After the situation, because people are looking towards you and stuff like that. And
I,
so,
I agree with you 100%, and you know, I'm gonna take it a step further. I'm gonna raise if I have a boy pretty much the same way that I was raised. I'll touch on that briefly. The
mhm,
same way that I was raised about as far as men don't cry. But here's why, because what you said about the whole leader thing. So there was a lesson I learned because you can learn from anybody. It was a person that me and that person never got along. We're cool now, but we didn't get along, and this is back in college. And something happened within my fraternity. And it was like a pretty big deal. And at the time, I was the vice president of my fraternity, and this person, yo, Am I buffering? Y'all good? You buffering?
Nah, that was my dad called me, man. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Oh, you
I
started
apologize.
spinning. But yeah. So long story short, 'cause I don't want to go too much detail. Something happened, and in that moment, I showed emotion. I got angry, and I was like, "Yo!" and I was like yelling and screaming, and I showed a lot of emotion. That person, like I said, me and the person never got along. He pulled me aside, and he was like, I'm disappointed in you." And I'm looking at him like, "Bro, we don't even like each other. What you mean disappointed?" He was like, "No, like although we don't, um, it seems like." Oh, I'm a session.
Hit
So
buttons, man.
that's deep. So anyway, he was like, "I'm disappointed." I'm like, "Why are you disappointed?" He said, "Although we don't get along, he was like, I respect you as a leader." He was like, "In this moment, you didn't lead." He was like, "You're the vice president of this organization, and something went wrong, i.e. chaos, and you reacted out of emotion. You didn't take a step back, and you weren't able to handle this calmly." He was like, "And now look how many other people have emotion right now because they're following your lead. They elected you as a vice president. You're showing emotion, now they're showing emotion." And in that moment, I was like, dang, although, like I said, me and that person never vibed, I was like, boy, that's a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, boy. And ever since then, because I've been in management positions, I've been, over people, I've been a leader in other things. I've learned to, like, as a manager, there's been moments where my boss would chew me out. And I would have to go out here and talk to people under me and be calm. Even though I just got chewed out, now I'm
Right.
relaying this message in a calm manner because if I panic, they're going to panic.
Then it.
So that's why, Breezy, I feel like a lot. I'm gonna raise my son to be a leader, not to be a follower. If he's a follower, he's a follower. But I'm gonna try to raise him to be a leader of men.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't. Emotions and leadership don't really go hand in hand. You can't be the boss and be crying and be angry and be acting out of emotion. Going back to his president analogy, if the president got on TV and like, "I don't know what we're gonna do. We don't have any oil. We don't," and he started crying, we're gonna be like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
We all
What's
gonna
going
start
on, man?
panicking too because we're gonna be like, "Wait, hold on, what's about to happen?" Like they gotta get on TV and pretend, no matter their free, they can have so much going on in their personal life, but during that interview, during that speech, they can't show that emotion.
They got
They
hold
got
of
to be even killed. They have to be calm. So it's kind of it's one of them things where it's like I know I just said I would love to be able to show emotion, and now I'm saying I'm not gonna raise my son that way. So it sounds like I'm being a hypocrite, but
it.
leaders don't get to show that emotion. You're